I'm on campus at U of M Dearborn and I'm taking my biology class on a nature walk. Come on. We talked about Osage orange, which was a living fence, and you can use it for bows, and it has a mammoth dispersed fruit. This is Siberian squill. We talked about this, and we talked about invasive species. We talked about this big tree with the burls all over it and how that is probably caused by a fungus. We talked about the dam and the power plant that's here at the estate that generated power for the rouge plant. We talked about evergreens and why they're better at living in northern climates. The squirrel is gone, but we were talking about squirrels and oak trees and acorns. We talked about these thistles having protection because they're one of the first plants up, and then we talked about how onions and mustards are also up early, and so they have those hot chemicals to keep things from eating them. We talked about all these piles of sticks, which are honeysuckle that they removed last year so that they could poison the stumps in the fall. We talked about the fossils and the fact that Michigan used to be an ancient lake bed. We're in the Rose Garden at the Henry Ford Estate, and this is all built from locally quarried limestone. We talked about the turtles and the other reptiles that are basking right now. We talked about these geese who are building a nest over here and how they are kind of chasing these ducks away to keep them out of their territory. We talked about my favorite rock with all the really cool lichens. We talked about the yeast on the raspberries and how you can use it for cooking. This is a bloodroot flower. Bloodroot is one of our native Michigan plants, and the reason it's called bloodroot is because there is a red latex that comes out of the roots that you can use then as a dye. These little mottled leaves are trout lily, and we talked about how they only get one leaf per year, so it takes them 7 years to make a flower. We talked about the trillium and the native wildflowers and how the subsidized predators, which are the deer, can eat them. We talked about this guy, and he musked me, so I smell great now. My favorite tree came down. It was dead, but it's been standing for a while. But look at those buttresses. We talked about the mushroom logs and farming mushrooms and how that all works. And then, I don't see any right now, but there were a bunch of little birds around. So we talked about birds and migration and stuff like that. So that's what we found. What signs of spring are you finding?